yo, sis, this shit hurts. I'm never fucking coming back. Do you understand me? I'm never coming back. This shit fucking hurts so bad. This shit hurts so bad. I've been here since 7:30 this morning. I'm just leaving. I woke up freaking the fuck out. This shit hurts so fucking bad. I'm about to just pee on myself because I gotta pee. And I don't care. Yes, I did. But he still gotta take me home. That's a 20-minute fucking drive. I hate this. I'm never coming back. I don't even want to come back to Miami. I don't want to come back to Florida, period. This is how the fuck they treat people.
I would 100% go back and not get the BBL. I know it's a complication that you don't usually happen. This isn't worth it. I had asked my husband to get the walker because I can't even walk on my feet without hurting and wanting to fall. I came home from getting my massage today, and we only have 3 little stairs going up into the porch. I couldn't make the last one and I fell. Luckily I cut myself, but then I hurt myself because I had to catch myself. The pain has gotten worse, and now my legs are on fire up to my knees. They shake all the time because it hurts. I just think it's important for me to show this side. It's nothing the doctor did wrong. It's just, I mean, they're shoving fat in your butt with all these nerves there. I would do the tummy tuck and the boob job again because I am having no problems with that. 0 out of 10. No pain. I should have just dealt with having a small booty and worked harder in the gym when I got back and fed it and built it the right way. The pain is a good 7 out of 10.
I'll be the first to admit, I got cosmetic surgery to keep a man. So I'm gonna do a quick story time of why I got cosmetic surgery in order to keep my husband. So when I first got married, I thought that I was my husband's type. I thought that he was attracted to me because he said he was. But throughout our marriage, he would always tell me how he was attracted to BBW women, more full-figured, voluptuous women. I was pretty young, so I didn't really realize that he was kind of grooming me to get comfortable with the idea of him talking about other women, which later led to him asking if we wanted to be poly. He would send me a lot of different pictures on Instagram of different Instagram models who had BBLs, who had their butts really big, and he would say things like, "You will look so good like this." Something in my spirit didn't feel well when he used to send me these things, but I wanted to just go along with it, you know, be the cool wife. He would give these backhanded compliments like, "You are my dream woman, you look so good, but imagine if you got this surgery done to your butt." He would say it so often that I began to believe that I needed it. And I would also start looking at these other women's like, okay, this is my husband's type. This is who I'm gonna be with forever. I might as well give him what he wants. I was programmed to believe that because I was married, I had to give him what he wanted. So I convinced myself that I actually wanted the surgery for myself. I started looking in the mirror like, wow, April, yes, you'll look so good if your stomach was much flatter and your butt was wider and if you finally had some hips. The brainwashing was real. I began to become really consumed by the thoughts of getting this surgery in order to please him. So I went ahead and did it. He was happy with the results, but that didn't stop there. My BBL surgery was the worst pain I've ever endured. It was actually worse than all 3 of my labors with my children. He did not care. Even though he waited on me hand and foot and he saw how much pain I was in every day, he proceeded to ask me the very first week of recovery, will I be willing to go through a round 2? Meaning take more fat out and transfer it again before I'm even done healing. And here I am, 1 week in recovery, wondering about getting a second round BBL just to keep him happy. There is much more to this story that I can add, so let me know if you want a part 2. But I came on here to say that if your goal is to try to satisfy the male ego, please stop. It's literally impossible. I am not saying that I am against plastic surgery. I'm just simply saying never get it to satisfy the male ego, because it is impossible. I've been so hesitant about making this video because obviously it's super vulnerable, but someone needed to hear this. I just want to reassure you that your husband, your soulmate, your divine masculine that God has made for you, he would never ask you to change anything about yourself. If you decide to change anything about your physical appearance, he will support you, yes, but he would never make it seem like it's an absolute necessity. Don't let yourself be persuaded like I did, because if this was my decision, my surgery would have probably came out much better. I would have went to the doctor I actually wanted to. I would have spent more time doing more research. I would have healed properly because I would have got all the massages I was supposed to get. My healing process has not been the best. And I know it's because this was totally out of alignment with who I really am. So I'm not against plastic surgery. There's work that I'll still do, but make sure you're doing it for you.
Hey everyone. My name is Mercy Uber, and welcome back to the channel. Today's conversation is heavy, because behind the glamorous Instagram posts, the snatched waist photos, and the viral transformation videos, there's another side people don't talk about enough. A painful side, a dangerous side, a heartbreaking side. We need to talk about BBL regrets. And before anybody gets defensive, this video is not about mocking women or judging people for wanting to feel beautiful. Everybody deserves to feel confident in their own skin. But confidence should never come at the cost of your life. And that's the part social media keeps hiding from people. Because online, they show you the vacation packages, the luxury recovery homes, the perfect before and after pictures, the attention, the likes, the compliments. They market these surgeries like they're simple beauty upgrades. Like ordering a new outfit. But what they don't show you is the women waking up screaming in pain. They don't show you the infections. The panic attacks. The regret. The bodies that never healed properly. The emotional trauma that follows people long after the stitches close. Some of these women said the pain was worse than childbirth. Think about that for a second. Worse than childbirth.
I got cosmetic surgery to keep a man, part 2. At that time, when I was willing to get surgery to keep my husband, I was desperate for validation. And men can always sense that hunger for validation. And when he sensed it, he used it to his advantage. Like when he asked me to do poly and I would say no, he'll threaten to leave me because he understood my fear of abandonment. He saw me as his property, not a person. He saw me as a body, not someone with a soul. So when I said no, I didn't want to be poly, he immediately threatened to leave me because his property was now challenging him. And even when I did give in and pursue poly with him, there would be women where he wouldn't find them the most attractive, but he'll say, oh, eventually we can get her teeth done, or eventually we can get her surgery. Basically seeing women as projects to build. When I called him out for dehumanizing me and sexualizing women, he'll just say, everyone does it. And he didn't see me as a body or a soul. Honestly, I didn't see myself as that. So he was just mirroring and reflecting back my own low self-esteem. So we were just two wounded people having this wounded dance where I chose to finally wake up and heal. You can no longer be owned when you finally remember who you are. You can no longer be someone else's property when you know that you're worth more than all of the money in the world. You cannot be devalued once you choose to value yourself. If you've ever abandoned yourself in the name of love, or if you were ever told that you were just a piece of property, the moment you start to value and choose yourself, the entire universe will rearrange itself to prove that choice to you. I also want to add that men are just as affected by this social experiment of a society as women are, whether they want to believe it or not. From a very young age, little boys are taught to lust after women instead of actually honor women, and that plays a role as to why society is the way it is now. So So no, I'm not on here bashing men, pointing them out to be lustful, greedy, users, abusers, because that exists, but so does the alternative. The moment you start choosing yourself, you will meet reflections that mirror back your self-value. I really just wanted to shed light on the entitlement, objectification, coercion, control that some men have, that once you are awakened to, you can now free yourself from.
Get ready with me while I tell you about my horrific BBL story. So I've had 2 BBLs. For my first BBL, I did not have much money. I hadn't been doing OF for very long, and I had been hearing about these girls going to Turkey and getting them done for like half the price. So that's what I did. I found a clinic. They were easy to talk to and had good reviews. Like, the reviews were all excellent, which looking back is probably a red flag. And they were like one of those package deal places. Surgery, accommodation for 2 weeks was like all included in the price. So I arrived to the place and like their driver picks me up. We go to the hospital to meet the surgeon and the surgeon's not there. Searching for this guy for like an hour, and then so we end up going to the clinic and see if he's there. He's not there. It's a whole mess. And keep in mind that there's like a language barrier. The guy can barely speak English. So I really don't know what's going on. After like 4 hours, we find this guy. We start talking about what I want, like what my goals are. He immediately shuts me down and says like I don't have enough fat for the surgery. I gained like 10 kilos for their surgery. I know that I had enough fat. It was almost like he was setting me up for low expectations early on so I didn't get disappointed. Anyway, surgery day comes along, like in the operating room. I kid you not, it was like everyone's worst nightmare. I was on the operating table getting surgery and I could literally feel everything. Basically, when you get lipo done for a BBL, they have this rod and they like stick it in you and it sucks out all the fat. I could literally feel that sucking the fat out of me. It was like this burning, the most excruciating pain I've felt ever. And I was paralyzed. I could not move. All I could feel is the like tears streaming down my face. Obviously didn't give me enough sedation because I felt everything and then I remembered everything after. I could literally hear them like gossiping while they were doing surgery on me. Where I must have passed out like from the pain or something, because the next thing I remember is waking up and knowing that something was not right. Woke up freezing cold, like my body was literally vibrating. I know theater rooms are cold, but I have had a few surgeries and I've never woken up like that. My body was not coping. I was projectile vomiting everywhere. I woke up lying on my butt, which like when you get a BBL, you're not meant to put any pressure on it for 6 weeks. Otherwise the fat cells will die. I was trying to tell the nurses, but they were like, no, it's fine. Like, this is how we do it. I was just stressing out thinking I've just paid all this money and now I'm getting ruined by sitting on my butt. So I always completely forget about this part because of just the trauma of the whole thing. But as I was getting discharged, a male nurse literally groped me while he's trying to dress me. This is like the next day after surgery, so I am like out of it. Luckily, like a female nurse walks in and he stops. He had to escort me to my car and he literally did it again in the elevator. I completely blocked this out of my memory until like 3 months after the surgery. Get to the hotel and the next day you have to do like these lymphatic massages. Go to take my garments off, like you have to wear these compression garments. I go to take them off and like my body literally looks the same. Like I still have my hip dips, I still had the fat. They just keep telling me like, oh, it's a swelling and you won't see the result until like blah, blah, blah. And I was kind of thinking to myself like, maybe they're right, you know, like I am not the expert. So I fly home literally first class because I don't want to lie on my butt. Even after the surgeon told me I could, I still didn't because I didn't want to affect my results. I was eating right. I was doing everything perfect. Within 2 months, like the fat that was transferred had gone. I later find out from my next surgeon, like if the fat isn't purified properly when it's taken out, it will die. So I see my next surgeon about a year later for a second BBL. And he told me that they had just taken chunks out of my back. Like it was so uneven. He could not believe that I woke up lying on my butt. I meant to wake up face down after the surgery. A lot of clinics from Turkey actually steal his photos. But I love my results now. Shout out to Kim. So please don't ever go to Turkey and get a BBL. I don't care how good the clinic looks, it's just not worth it.
I got my BBL in 2017 maybe. I forgot, a long time ago. But it was when that big booty Kim K trend was. I fell victim to that, and I thought that was the solution to getting snatched. At that point, I was also very overweight. I thought taking the shortcut was the best way. Get lipo and gain a booty. Sounds great, right? So I did that. I actually got 2 rounds of BBL. The first one was very minimal because it was an awake lipo. That didn't really give me much. The second one was under general anesthesia, and the surgeon extracted a large amount of fat and put everything in my butt. Little did I know that I would absolutely hate my result. I looked really freaky with the new proportions. None of my clothes fit, and I just got more depressed because I couldn't wear anything that I liked, and I felt less confident, which was the opposite of what I hoped to achieve. I should have just stuck to dieting and exercising and losing weight the natural way, which I eventually ended up doing because I was still fat with the BBL. I mean, I lost nothing because the fat was just repositioned to my butt. After my BBL healed, I had BBL reversal, which was just lipo to the butt. The surgeon removed as much fat as he could without causing much sagginess. You can't remove all the fat because the skin would be stretched out and I would be left with pancake saggy butt. The result of that was unsatisfactory because my butt is now uneven. My left side is flatter than the right side. Also, I did get loose skin. That was unavoidable. I did do a lot of radio frequency treatments afterwards to tighten everything as much as possible, and it did work to some degree. I will never get my normal butt back. It is as good as it can be right now, given everything it's gone through, and I truly should have just never, ever done the BBL. That was a lesson learned, to never, ever chase trends. The second surgery that I'm somewhat regretful is the buccal fat removal. I got that done in my mid-20s, I believe. That hollowed out my face eventually as I lost a lot of the weight. And you guys know I did 4 rounds of facial fat transfer. One of the main reasons was to replenish the lost facial volume. Most of that was in the lower cheek, which was where the buccal fat was removed. Had I kept my buccal fat and just let natural aging do its thing, I probably wouldn't have done the facial fat transfer.
A lot of folks ask me why I don't do BBLs. The truth is, we weren't really sure for a long time, but it did seem to be a fairly dangerous operation. I have never, God help me, I've never lost a patient in my career, and I don't want to start now.
One procedure you refuse to do.
I don't do the BBL. Too dangerous, not worth it.
Fair enough. Valid.
Your friends, they don't listen to you. They don't want to hear nothing you gotta say. I'm a friend, I respect you, do what you do. But just be careful. Go to a good doctor. She failed to do that. She went to a doctor that she seen a girl post about this doctor on, of course, IG. One thing about IG that you have to know is these girls get paid to promote these doctors. Whatever amount you pay towards that doctor is being cash apped to the same girl that's like, oh yeah, say my name, say I sent you. Yeah, they're getting a cut. She goes to DR, right? She gets the surgery done. She had lipo and she had a tummy tuck, and then she has a physical, right? But since then she was complaining. She was complaining of just body aches, headaches, just feeling really heavy all the time. So she went to the doctor, and the doctor tells her, hey, we just got your blood results. Why is your kidney count low? So then the doctor says, have you had any surgeries? Have you had any surgeries in the last year? Yes, I've had tummy tuck, I've had BBL, all of these things. So she has a CAT scan done, and during the CAT scan, it shows up. She only has 1 kidney. So down in DR, this botch organ selling doctor took one of her kidneys. She thought she was getting the steal of her life. She was like, $3,500 for all that. Yes, sign me up. Little did she know that the doctor was actually selling her kidney. I don't know how much kidneys go on the black market, but I know it's way more than $3,500. Now she's trying to contact this doctor. Now she's trying to find out, okay, where is this doctor? This doctor disappeared, guys. Disappeared. The girl that was on freaking IG, come to find out, that girl was not even real. That girl was not even a real person. That girl was a botch account, fake ass account, and that account was actually taken down. It was shown that this girl that was like, oh yeah, my body this, and look at this doctor did this type of a job on me. All those pictures were taken off of Google. Those were Google stole pictures. So that wasn't even a real person, okay? So now my friend is pretty much like, oh my God, I can't find a doctor. I don't know exactly what the hell I'm gonna do. And now she has one kidney. Now she has one kidney and she's going through a whole bunch of freaking crap. Now she has to take medication. Now she has to do all these things. And now she really has to protect her one kidney because that's all she has. The moral of this true story is please just don't get a BBL.
How getting a BBL at 16 ruined my life. One of the top things that I saw people asking was to see the pictures anyways, because I didn't originally post the pictures of my butt implants flipping. I didn't post them because I don't think that TikTok would allow it because I didn't have pants on. If I could describe it to you, just imagine like a suction cup. You can go look up implants flipping and you'll see, but imagine it looked like a suction cup on my butt cheek rather than like a butt cheek. It was inverted and like a suction cup. It looked terrible and I was walking around the Miami airport like that. I feel like complications is something that's not talked about enough in general. You see like the before and after pictures on social media and you're like, oh my God, wow. But you don't see what goes on behind the scenes in terms of the recovery process and how excruciating it can be. And the fact that there is a very high chance that there will be complications that are irreversible. So I'm here to raise awareness. Don't make the same mistakes I made. Hip implants, the worst, the worst. Like I said, I had nerve damage to the point where I was in discomfort 24 hours a day. Like it would wake me up out of my sleep. I talked about how the implants were sewn into my hip bone and that was like where most of the pain came from. The pain came from them being sewn into my hips. The actual implant area down here wasn't super painful. The pain was all on that like stitch line. I did finally get them removed in July of this year. I have talked to 5 or 6 different surgeons and they have all told me that unfortunately I will never regain feeling in my hips. That nerve damage is irreversible. I will always have that like tingly, numb, like it almost feels like you're like how it feels when your foot is asleep. I feel that in my hips and that is probably never gonna go away. So the damage that was done in my hips is irreversible even after removing them. Hip implants were 2.5 centimeters on both sides. So it was about 5 centimeters total. Now that I have them removed, I am dealing with loose skin, fluid buildups and things like that that is expected to fix itself, but not guaranteed. I can finally run though. Again, now that I got them removed, my hip dips are coming back and I cannot tell you how happy I am to see them. I wish that I would have appreciated them before. I'm gonna appreciate the fuck out of my hip dips this time around and I am so sorry to my poor hips that I did this. Okay, then the butt implants. After dealing with the butt implants flipping, I have had to completely limit myself and rearrange my entire life to accommodate these butt implants. Every move I make throughout the day has to be calculated and thoroughly thought out. So you understand, I can't even do like crunches or sit-ups down on the ground, like even on a yoga mat, even on a thick padded yoga mat, I still am not able to do those exercises. Things like getting up out of bed in the morning cannot just be one swift movement. I have to actually lift myself up off my butt, scoot to the side of the bed, swing my legs off, all while still holding up my weight and get out of the bed. I can't just do one swift movement, otherwise shit will go left.
Are BBLs safe? Let's talk about it. First of all, disclaimer, I'm Dr. Sanchez. I'm a plastic surgeon in training and I have nothing against people getting cosmetic work done, but I think education is key. So in the literature, BBLs do have the highest mortality rate within the category of aesthetic procedures. Now, the reason that the mortality risk is higher than it is in a lot of other aesthetic operations is because of the risk of a fat embolism. This is when some fat inadvertently enters the bloodstream and potentially travels back into the lungs, blocks blood vessels, can cause respiratory failure, even cardiovascular collapse in really bad cases.
Because they don't care about you. That's why. Anytime you inject fat under the muscle when you're doing a BBL, it can actually kill you. You see the red? Those are arteries. Right next to arteries are veins. They're about the size of my pinky. If you inject fat under the muscle, that fat goes into those veins, up to your heart, your lungs, you die. End of story. That's why you don't do it.
This conversation is bigger than BBLs. It's really about the relationship people have with themselves in a world constantly profiting from insecurity. Beauty trends will continue to change. Social media will continue to create pressure. But your health, your peace of mind, and your life are far more valuable than internet validation. No trend is worth dying for. No relationship is worth risking your health for. And no amount of likes or attention can replace genuine self-worth. If you choose cosmetic surgery, make sure it comes from a fully informed decision, not pressure, insecurity, fear, or the need to feel accepted by society. Your body is not a trend. Your worth is not temporary. And you should never feel forced to suffer just to feel beautiful. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Mercy Uber, and if this video resonated with you, leave your thoughts respectfully in the comments. I'd really love to hear your perspective on beauty culture, social media pressure, and self-worth. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with someone who may need to hear this message. Stay safe, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you in the next video.